Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. To be around a master needs tremendous courage. To be around a master needs tremendous courage. Some time ago, I posted something. If you come across an awakened person or the master, surrender him. It sounds very good. But to understand this is the most difficult thing. Why it is difficult? Because as such as you are, you have a physical eye, you have a physical ears, you are in fact at the physical plane, and the master is not at the physical plane. The moment he is a master, that means he is in the body, but the body is not in him. In you, you are the body, you are the mind. You will judge, observe everything of the master from your viewpoint. We see things as we are, not as they are. I have heard there was a beautiful waterfall amidst a mountain peaks. Beautiful fountain, a waterfall. So 3 people went to visit that waterfall. The first was an engineer. He had the perspective of an engineer. His eyes was of an engineer. He said, what a beautiful example of nature's architect. What a beautiful example of nature's architect. Natural, spontaneous. The next one was a poet. What a beautiful example of nature's poetry. The beauty has converged in its nascent form. I have not come across such a beautiful piece of nature's creation. The third was a politician. Politicians, everyone have their own view of looking at the things. The politicians, when he saw it, what a criminal waste of nature's energy and resources. What a criminal waste of nature's energy and resources. Had it been in my constituency, I would have won the election. When you come in contact with a master, you have a physical eye, you have a physical ears, you hear his words, you will give those words your own meaning. What you see, you give your own interpretation. And master cannot be judged, his words cannot be judged, his actions, because he is not in the words. I recall whenever I ask my mother about her father, tell me something about him. She said he was very fussy about small things. Very, very fussy. The word that she used, fussy. I would have to use the word he was very meticulous about small things. Because these small things that are happening around him, they are like the pearls. He has to weave all these in an invisible cord to make the rosary. We use different pearls and a number of pearls, 100, 108 or whatsoever be the number. We weave them through the invisible thread and create a rosary for continuing our remembrance. So every single action that he does is like a small pearl that he weaves through an invisible thread to make the rosary for the remembrance of his Lord. You may find that his actions he is fussy, but it is meticulous. Just as when you are weaving, passing the pearls through the invisible cord, you have to make sure that they are appropriate and they are appropriately put through the string. So for instance, the time that he lived, there was a particular attire. He used to wear a long flowing jacket that is reaching up to his knee. He will have a cap on his head and a white colored trousers that is tight at his ankle. He will wear his shoes and has a walking stick. As he is going, let's begin somewhere. He is going to the work. When you are coming out of the door, you are facing outside. When he reaches outside the door, he will take a 180-degree turn his face towards the door and cast his glance. Let this house where I am living be filled with thy light. Remember one thing, whatsoever vibrations the water, air, atmosphere, they absorb the vibrations that you feed them into. Water absorbs the vibration, the air absorbs the vibration. If something, an odor flows through the air absorbs that. When there is a fragrance, the air absorbs this, and the air becomes the atmosphere inside the house. If you are running your air conditioner and while the air is blowing out, if you put some kind of perfume, the whole room will be filled with that perfume. It absorbs, it travels. Perfume is a vibration that travels through the air. Vibrations that you give to the water, it absorbs. Normally, water has the life energy on a scale of 0 to 10 is 2. Now, this is the reason that a scientist in Japan, Tomato, is using to charge the water with different energies. Now, you take a piece of paper on which you write something. You write bliss, you write joy, you write harmony, oneness, prosperity. These are the positive, infusing words. And you put your water in a metal cup. Copper, silver, gold, they are the best conductor of electricity, of the vibrations, not the plastic. You put the water into it and place on the piece of paper that has this written on it. For 20 seconds, it will absorb the vibration. You can hold the water in your 2 hands and cast a glance of harmony. If you are lost in your own inertia, the vibrations that is flowing out of you, out of your vision, will not be beneficial. Your innerness manifests through your words, through your eyes, through your glance, through your touch. You recall there was a woodcutter. Let me just recollect this story. There was a woodcutter. He was cutting the wood on top of the tree, and around the area there was a shepherd who was grazing his sheep. His wife did not bring the food, so he went to the woodcutter and asked him to take care of his sheep. Slightly different story. Okay, I will use this. But the woodcutter did not hear. He was hard of hearing. So the shepherd told him to take care of his sheep, and he is just rushing home to pick up his food. But the woodcutter did not hear anything. He went and he came back and he realized that one of his sheep is missing. So he went to the woodcutter asking about it, and they entered into an argument. So same time a Sufi was passing through there. He listened to the two, and then he looked deeply into the eyes of the woodcutter. Something penetrated through him, and he just climbed up on the tree and started cutting the wood. Then he looked into the shepherd's eye, and the same thing happened. He got frightened, and he left the argument and went on taking care of his sheep. So when an individual attains to awakening, the energy is not moving through the physical centers. It flows through the heart, the throat center, third eye, then it gets tremendous energy field. So the master is the one whose energy has moved to those centers, and it is at his will, according to needs, he allows the energy to move from different centers. So you are watching and analyzing his actions from your angle. So what he used to, first of all, when he is going to work, he come out of the door, take 180-degree turn, and he is sending his vibrations to the place, the entrance from where people will enter. Let this residence, this place, be filled with thy light and protection. He will take 180-degree turn and start walking. When he reaches to his office, again the same prayer. May this place of my work be filled with thy light and radiance. And whosoever are coming here, they will be guided by that light. You are not seeing it. He may be moving his head in a clockwise direction, because one of the Sufi prayer is you are taking care of all the four directions, the east, west, north and south. So it is called Zikr Chahar Zarbi. This way, that way, top, underneath. He may do this. But you are seeing only the physical movement of the head, but you're not seeing what is happening within. You start doing the same thing. You start judging his words. That is why I said it is most difficult to be around an awakened one. It happened. He uses every moment, every action as a pearl in order to create rosary through his invisible cord, which is his awareness, which is his energy field, to continue doing his work of the transformation of human consciousness. Although it sounds very good when you see an awakened one, a master, surrender him. But what are you going to surrender him? Surrender your will that you are, and that time your prayer should be, may I understand your words, may I understand your gestures, may I understand the unspoken words, may I understand your glance, may I understand your touch. Then the process of transformation begins. We enter into argument. People say that Raman used to get angry, because there is a difference between your anger and the anger of Raman. Raman's anger is a tool of transformation. Your anger is an expression of inner discordance. If you are around Jiddu Krishnamurti, you will find he is always worried. A master and worried. A master is an angry, and then you start arguing that you also get angry. This is why the family of the master rarely transforms. And when the master is not, all they seeing his physical actions and the kind of respect that he gets around, So they are guided by this, so they start following the physical actions, using his words, using his gestures. Many times I hear the children saying the same thing. And Daddy, you get angry also? Because you cannot see that this person is a master and what does it mean to be a master. Being a master means you have transcended the boundaries of the body, mind and intellect. You are in the body, but the body is not in you. You are using the mind as a tool, but you are not the mind. Because the words that I am speaking, the sentences that are forming, that is being formed through the use of the grammar, which only the tool of the mind can use. The grammar, the choice of the words, the modulation, the voice is coming through the vocal cord. These are all the physical instruments. But these physical instruments are under the control of the energy field of something which is different. This is why I said it is very difficult to be around a master. You try to judge the master from your own way. The way you get angry, the way you carry on. My mother also said that he was very nagging. He used to nag. Now it happened once. So somebody invited Sufi Brij Mohan Lal. There was some functions he invited. He was supposed to take a train or a bus transport to reach to the place. So he asked his son, who was growing as a young man that time, he has not attained the status of the master then. He asked his son to set the alarm so that he can wake up and have enough time to reach to the railway station. But his son Omkarnath did not, he transferred this responsibility to my father's brother. So my father's brother and my uncle, the Brij Mohan Lal's son and my father's brother, they were of the same age. So he told him to set the alarm instead of he doing it himself. And it happened that by mistake, the alarm was set 1 hour ahead. Instead of 4 o'clock, it was set for 5 o'clock. Everything set up. Now, when the alarm rang, Brij Mohan Lal got up, he got ready. When he reached the railway station, he realized the train has already left. Train has already left. He returned home. When he returned home, it was Omkarnath who opened the door and immediately said, "What did you do? You set the alarm at a wrong time. What will those people think about me? They invited me for a function and I could not reach there." Now Omkarnath said, "Sir, I did not set the alarm. It was the next person who set the alarm." He said, "Why did you give that responsibility to him? I asked you to do." So he said that maybe he was busy in something, so he asked him to set the alarm. Now the other person, he was upstairs, he heard his name, that the responsibility was shifted to him, shifted to the other person, and now he thought that the master will get angry with him. It was early morning hour. So he said, it would be better if I do not come down and stay whole day in the upstairs. So by evening the master will forget it. So he did not come down. And in the evening now, Brij Mohan Lal has the habit of going to the restroom. So the restroom was, and the steps were close by. So this gentleman thought that now the master would have forgotten. He was coming down the steps and the master was going to the restroom. So they encountered one another head on. He could not run back or hide. He had been full face in front of the master. Now the master said, what happened, gentlemen? You set the alarm. And you set the alarm incorrectly. And what these people will be thinking about me? What is this? And he continued to continued to carry on for almost 10 minutes. Now my mother says that there he used to nag like this. This is your understanding of the master. But what you call nagging at the physical plane is the way of transformation as a technique, because there is no set technique in Sufi path, and the Zen master uses any opportunity, anything to bring about a transformation. But you analyze him according to your own understanding. That's why it is said, it is very difficult to be around an awakened master, and it requires tremendous courage to be around a master. This will continue. Many more anecdotes I will take from my own example, because I had lived with so many masters. In order to continue this in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.